Ksenya Gurshtein, and I'm the Ulrich Museum's Curator of Modern and Contemporary Art. I'm recording this video in my home office. As everybody else, we at the Ulrich are working from home and taking this time to, among other things, go through the rather amazing archives of YouTube videos that our YouTube channel has of past presentations given by various illustrious speakers at the Ulrich. The video I watched in the last few days was a talk that the artist Trenton Doyle Hancock gave in 2012 at the Ulrich. We have wonderful works by him in the collection, which you can find on our collection portal. And the excerpt you're about to see is a short part of the Q&A session at the end of the talk. In the talk, Hancock goes through this truly epic narrative of the mythology that he has developed in his work, a whole origin myth and an, as I said, epic struggle between good and evil. And in the Q&A section, he says things that I think kind of contextualize and humanize those stories and give insight into where those stories come from. So I hope you enjoy the excerpt, and I also hope that it'll inspire you and pique your curiosity and make you wonder about evil vegans so that you will be interested, as I was, to watch the full talk on our YouTube channel. Enjoy.
I mean, I really actually first took on the idea of the vegan, I think, well, for the reasons that I mentioned, because it was very immediate and I needed to get something out of my system. But the vegan stuck around because I needed to stand in for the Christian who I was like attacking. I was attacking my own youth, I guess, and this truth that I was given growing up that was an only truth. And I was like, well, maybe there's some other truths. I can still hold this one as a truth, but let me look for some other ones. But I grew up around some very preachy and dogmatic characters, and they forced their ideologies on me. So I was like, maybe the vegan can be a stand-in for those people. But also, I love absurdity. I think the whole act of making art is absurd. Like, there's this space for me. I think it's beautiful, but absurd. I get to go to a room every day and make marks on a wall while people are out there trying to cure cancer. I get to do this, and people think it's important. That's absurd. But it's beautiful, too. And that's where the superhero comes in, because I think the artist has this responsibility. Like, if you're given the space to do that, to think in any way that you want to think, and it's this coveted spot, then make good use of it. It's like we have the opportunity or have the power to see through things, literally. We see through systems. We see the layers, the strata, and we can reconfigure those strata through the things we make. We can reform reality. It's a really amazing thing, and I think it's, sometimes people take it for granted. But yeah, the idea of the vegan is just to keep using it and to even say it. It's like, oh, that's absurd, So again, I became a vegan for about 6 months as a performance. And it was a performance called Good Vegan. And I wanted to be the best vegan I could possibly be. And I think I was. I really wanted to see what it was all about. If you want to think of it this way, get into the mind of the enemy and see how they do it. And I did it. And when I finished, I was fucking happy. I was like, okay, I'm not a vegan. I like the meat. I know that now. Sir? It came out of necessity, but also came out of memory. And, I grew up, my father was not only a a minister, but he was a carpenter and a black belt in karate, so he was teaching karate around the house and doing all kinds of weird, what I think of now as performance art. Just a weird dude, and my mom's a teacher and a piano, she gave piano lessons and stuff, but she also was obsessed with home decorating. So I remember as a little kid, I'd always be in Sherwin-Williams with her, trying to find something to occupy myself, and I would just thumb through these huge books of wallpaper. And it really excited me because there'd be, one pattern, but they would say, okay, this time the flowers are going to be red, and the background is going to be kind of a mauve. And then the next time, the same flowers are yellow, and the background is like a light sky blue. And it's like, oh, and then I turned it again, and it was like, whoa. And I don't know why I was excited by that then, and I couldn't talk about it. It was just something to keep me busy, but it was just as exciting as playing with toys. So that's, again, one of those things that I think I returned to as an adult. So I was remembering, oh, what did I like to do as a kid? Because the kid version of me, I knew all he did was what was truthful, because he hadn't been polluted yet. So it's like, as I would conversate with artists from the past, I would conversate with this young artist that was me. So it was this real kind of schizo thing where there's these different versions of me, and I would try and go talk to them, almost with these out-of-body experiences. And luckily, like I said, I saved a lot of my drawings, and those were teaching tools. But I don't know, it's a real strange thing to talk about, but I knew there was something. I think also, there's certain genders placed on things. And I was exploring, sides of myself that was all about, okay, I played football for 6 years of my life, and what was this? Also, I always have a coach yelling at me in my head, but then there's this mothering kind of thing, and I associated that with textiles and pattern making or something, and quilts, because my grandmother would make quilts, and I would sit on the floor and watch her do this thing, but, it made sense. So how can I incorporate all of these things, whether they be deemed masculine or feminine, in the work? And I know it's all me. I know I'm both black, I'm white, I'm everything else. I'm Japanese. I grew up watching a lot, taking in a lot of Japanese culture. So that to me was a truth. So I feel like we make these distinctions about class and race and, what have you, and they're oftentimes quite arbitrary, especially for the artist. You can cross those boundaries and be the punk. You can just buck the system and be risky in ways that other people don't. They don't see it at first. You can really get under the skin and do things by shape-shifting, by becoming another gender, becoming another race. I think it's rather exciting.